A hard-fought game, but it has produced the United States versus Japan at the 15U level for the second consecutive year. We saw a thriller at this level a year ago, and I'd say we're gearing up for a similar type of competition.
And I think it's going to be interesting because Japan having to gut out their semifinal game versus the USA, who had a big blowout. So will the U.S. come out early and kind of expect things to be the same and maybe think Japan could lay down a little bit? But Japan is going to be hungry and ready because I told you, when you have that USA on your chest, it's going to be that target that's going to be there that other teams are going to want to be able to beat them.
You see young Chad Richardson flying the red, white, and blue right there on your screen. The United States looking to make it 2 gold medals in a row here on Championship Sunday. The 15U division of the boys set to take place here momentarily from Championship Field. We got a lot coming your way, and again, if last year was any indication, buckle up. This should be a lot of fun. We've got our first action when we return right here on Home Team Network.
For me, the purpose of being a coach, it's always planting seeds, you know, just showing them, you know, what I've learned. Forget about all the noise that's around us. We worry about ourselves and what we have in front of us, right? Let's go. We're together. Let's go. You know, and just hoping that, you know, I left something there that they would understand and cherish it. 1, 2, 3, family.
Click, clack, the sound of disruption. It settles in. Controlled, precise. Click, clack, the sound changes direction. But there's no crash, just separation. And every time you hear it, something ends for you and starts for us. Click, clack. It's no longer just a sound. It's a warning.
Back here at Dignity Health Sports Complex, home of the LA Galaxy, but this week home of USA Football Summer Series. And today on Championship Field, we are crowning champions, gold medal matches. And right now it's the United States and Japan at the 15U boys level, set to get underway. The United States with the football first, and there is a first down completion from Ian Ditch out to Chad Richardson to get us going.
Yeah, we heard a lot about Ian Ditch from this coaching staff. Jesse Morrow telling us a lot about this young man. They're very excited about him at the quarterback position.
Plays for the South Bay Jaguars program, has since the first grade here in California. They've won more than 60 tournaments, including 8 national championships. We'll talk more about this, but his parents are growing the game internationally. Places like Tonga, as there's Ian Ditch on first down, second down, back-to-back completions, this time finding Cameron Cohen from Queen Creek, Arizona. Cameron Cohen, another one of those names that was mentioned quite often in our production meetings. Was an alternate last year on this very team, 15U boys. Made the squad this year. Competes in tackle football and track for Castile High School out there in Queen Creek, Arizona. And as is fairly common, but especially with the United States, most of these boys double as both tackle and flag football players. And there's the third straight completion from Ditch, finding a third different target to start the game. Christian Myrick from Deer Park, New York with the grab.
And Christian Myrick showing you can't sleep on that center. He snaps it and comes immediately and runs a quick out. And he is a heck of an athlete. He's got that bucket hat on the boot.
So that lets you know
that he's nice and relaxed out there when he's playing this game. And so he's able to come right out of there and make it be known that, hey, you've got to watch every single player on this U.S. roster on the field at a given time.
That bucket hat's kind of like cauliflower ears when it comes to wrestlers. You show me a bucket hat, I'll show you a guy who can play. As Ditch rifles it across the middle, touchdown! What a start for the United States. Tristan Ortiz-Rotolo the fourth different receiver to make a catch on that opening scoring drive, and the United States offense is flying high, up 6-0 in the early going.
And Ortiz Rotolo just used that great speed to run that crossing route across the middle of that field, streaking. Nobody can run with him.
There's Ditch rolling left, throws back to the middle against his body, finds Chad Richardson in the front of the end zone, wide open. 7-0, the United States with a great start here in the title bout.
No doubt about it. Great start for them. They go right down the football field with little opposition. Let's look at the touchdown again, as we see on the cross. And for Ortiz Rotolo, that speed just took over late, and nobody could catch him.
Here comes Team Japan. Deep ball on the opening play. Sails out of bounds, incomplete. That was intended for Keito Kawamura. Soto Nishikita will be your starting quarterback today for Team Japan. And again, a year ago, we saw Jonathan Nagapin, Jesse Marrow, and the 15U boys win gold against Japan in a game that came down to the final play and a defensive stop to win gold. They'd love to win it a bit easier this year if they can, but Japan is certainly one of the better programs across the world. And right there's a completion on second down out to the captain, number 29, Ryogo Nagata.
And you know this Japan team, they are definitely thinking about what happened to them last year, and that's certainly going to be motivation. But I'm sure for the U.S., they are also going to be motivated to not even let it get that close this year and to come out and try to get a convincing victory.
Team Japan head coach Daiki Tanabe sends the play in from the sideline. Players checking their wristbands, and now they're set. On third down, another deep ball. Wobbly deep down the field and flutters incomplete, but a penalty flag flies in late. Sota Nishikita, not one of his better throws. And to add insult to injury, we've got a contact flag, penalty rather, against the Japanese squad. That'll back him up 5 yards.
Yeah, and for the U.S., Logan David, he thought it was against him, and so he was ready to complain to the ref, but then there was a push-off there. Nothing worse than getting an incompletion and a push-off. That's a pretty tough combination to deal with.
Yeah, on Sundays, that might get you yanked off the field.
Yes.
But here in flag, it's just another play. So illegal contact against Japan. It's a loss of down as well. Fourth down coming here for the Japanese. A lateral. Buying time. Over the middle of the field, catch nearly made, but bobbled and flung out of bounds by number 18, Kayashino. Looked like the Japanese had a big chance to convert, but he couldn't hang on, and they give the ball right back to the United States.
Yeah, that was about as tough of a first drive as you could ask for from Japan. You got nothing out of it, penalties to boot, so now for the U.S., you've got a chance to really make an early imprint on this game.
Ian Ditch back at quarterback. Formation overloaded to the far side that time, and a catch made by Cameron Cohen, his second of the game.
And this U.S. team, just a plethora of weapons they have at their disposal, and it just makes them a team that's just so dangerous. I mean, they can just stretch you to the limits of your defense's capabilities because there are so many guys that can make plays on the field at a given time.
Cameron Cohen to snap it. Quinn Miles in this time, lining up in the slot, but it's Tristan Ortiz Rotolo with the catch on second down and slices his way back out toward midfield. Stopped at the 23-yard line.
Ortiz Rotolo, he's shown very early that he is somebody to watch. His speed and explosion jump out to you immediately when you watch this team.
Japanese squad getting set defensively. Uta Fujimagari. Here's Ditch, deep ball up the seam, catch and a touchdown. Quinn Miles getting in on the action. Now the fifth United States receiver to make a grab and the second to score a touchdown. This United States team, just like our opening game of the day, the girls 15U level, the U.S. with back-to-back scores to break open a 2-score lead here in the first half.
And it looked like Japan dared to play the U.S. in man-to-man. Quinn Miles running that post route. Too much speed, too much athleticism.
Ian Ditch with a pair of touchdown passes to start this game, and just like he did on the opening possession, on the scramble finds another Chad Richardson extra point at the front of the end zone.
Ian Ditch off to a fantastic start. Kind of what we saw in the last game with the U.S. getting off to a hot start, the offense having minimal mistakes. And so we'll see if they can continue to keep this hot streak going. Japan, you got to get something going right now because you are in dangerous territory here.
Now Team Japan trailing by 14. Deep ball again down the near sideline. And once again, Kato Kawamura can't haul it in. That's the third opportunity that he's been given on a deep ball already by Sotaro Kihara. Pardon me, Sota Nishikita.
And they obviously think that they've got something there that they can exploit with Fujimagari, but it hasn't been able to materialize just yet.
That ball's batted away on the rush, and a flag flies in late. Number 9, Antoine Short from the Bronx. A little bit too much of that Bronx toughness on the rush. Great job to bat it away, but collides with the quarterback, Sota Nishikita, who is still down in the end zone.
And I think Nishikita right there hit the ground and listen, let's just call it what it is here. We like to keep it real up here at the desk. It definitely looked like a little bit of salesmanship on his part to do that because he was about to get up and the coaches told him to stay back down. So U.S., you got to watch out. That's something to think about from a strategy standpoint because right there, that was minimal contact. I'm not sure that he's powerful enough to be able to hit the quarterback in that fashion. He's also looking back at the coaching staff right there. So if you're the U.S., you got to be able to look out for that as this game goes forward.
There's a direct snap and a pitch back to Kawamura. So after a couple of failed deep ball attempts to Kawamura, they find a way to get in the ball differently that time. Doesn't pick up a ton. It'll be second down from the 22-yard line. Kyle Bailey, Wes Bryant with you live here on Home Team Network, Championship Field at Dignity Health Sports Park here in L.A. We appreciate everyone tuning in this weekend to watch the best of the best flag footballers from across the world as USA football and this entire sport gear up for the Olympics right here in L.A. 2 years from now, making its Olympic debut. There's a bobbled snap, but he corrals it and heaves a missile to the far sideline, but misses number 29, Ryoga Nagata.
And right there, that shows you the importance, man. If you can't get the snap, the rush is on you so quick in flag football that by the time you turn around, it's going to be difficult for you to really make something happen, especially playing against a team with the team speed like USA has. You've got to be on point at all times, and in a timing-based offense, when you mess up the snap like that, it's going to be tough for you to bounce back.
Nagata in motion this time. There's a completion. They find him. Goes inside the 20. Finally has his flag pulled at the 15-yard line. And a good ball that time by Nishikita.
And Nagata right there on the reception. Again, a point I like to bring up. I don't understand why more guys don't run with the ball out like he did to try to pick up as many yards as they can, especially at the end of a given play right there. I think that's always the smart move.
Well, smart play by Nagata brings up first down. Nishikita to Kawamura. And finally, the Japanese appear to have something brewing on offense. Complete inside the 5.
14 seems to be the magic number for these first two games to start to wake up the other team. Wouldn't you say last game it was 14-0? We ended up with an instant classic. Will this one be able to follow suit? Will Japan be able to get this ball in the end zone? They are very close, about 4 yards away with 3 downs to get it.
Well, to Wes's point, the first game of the day here on Championship Sunday, the U.S. women defeating Panama at the 15U level. 77 combined points. They win at 42-35, and there's a tip drill in the end zone. It flutters incomplete. Dangerous throw that time by Nishikita.
That in-breaking route right there, if you're Taniguchi, you've got to be able to come up with that. Your team needs a play. We do have a flag on the play, but you've got to be able to come up with that football right there. That was a very catchable football.
The penalty is illegal contact against the Americans. That'll be half the distance to the goal and an automatic first down for Team Japan. And you're right, in the previous game, the United States jumped out 14-0. Panama came screaming back, and it was nearly shot for shot the rest of the way. And the 15U Japanese boys mount a similar comeback here, down by 14 with 8 minutes to play. See the American defense awaiting the snap. Japanese offense checking their wristbands. Kawamura to snap it. Nagata in the slot. And Nishikita has to get rid of it, floats it into the end zone, and a diving catch by Nagata for a touchdown.
And I think the penalty is going to be on the U.S. again, so it won't matter. But what a catch right there. He was waiting for Nagata to keep coming open on that crossing route. He was waiting on him, and he was finally able to get him. And he made a great catch right there because the defense was right there in the quarterback's face.
This is important as well because of the penalty. It will allow Team Japan to go for 2 from the 5-yard line. And again, most of you tuning in are likely aware of the rules, but just in case you aren't, in flag football, following a touchdown, you attempt a 1-point conversion from the 5, a 2-point conversion from the 10. But in the case of a defensive penalty on a scoring play, the offense can go for 2 from the 5-yard line. So 7-6, and Japan can take the lead right here if they can convert. Here comes the pressure. And I misspoke there a moment ago, 14-6 and a chance to cut the lead to 6. My apologies for the confusion, but instead, that ball sails out of the back of the end zone, incomplete. But Team Japan has cut the deficit to 8 here.
Tough break right there. Anytime you can get a chance to go for 2 in 1-point conversion range, you want to try to be able to convert it. But again, just another great catch right there, and a view of that by Nagata.
Here's Ian Ditch, walks up under center. Rolls out, but throws a pick at the 20-yard line. Play still alive. Number 10, Uta Fujimagari, with a massive defensive play for Japan. They score to cut it to a 1-possession game, and they get it right back in plus territory.
And that was a huge play. Once again, that post route, they tried to go back to it to Quinn Miles, but they were on top of it, had him bracketed up. Bad ball, though, by Ian Ditch. He left a little bit too much or didn't put enough on it, and sometimes we get into the debate of underthrowing, overthrowing. He underthrew it that time, but those 2 Japanese defenders were waiting right there to camp under it, and they made him pay.
So the Japanese right back on offense, 14-6. And a man in motion. Nishikita wants it all into the end zone. Knocked away, nearly a simultaneous catch situation.
Pass defended by number 15, William.
The number 15, William Mitchell, in coverage and there to break it up. Got nearly both of his hands on it. We'll check the replay here.
Yeah, that was a great play right there, man. That was competition at its finest. 2 guys going up for the ball. Nobody came down with it.
Still 2nd down for Team Japan. Nishikita to Kawamura. Inside the 15. Flags pulled at the 14. That'll bring up 3rd down.
Also flag on the play, going to be unnecessary roughness again on the U.S., so that's going to give them, oh, excuse me, they must have picked it up right there. That was the flag on the ground and not an actual flag.
Yeah, it's, you know, I don't have many complaints about this gig, but, you know, yellow flags in flag football can be a little bit confusing. Not the greatest color choice, but we'll make do. 3rd down from the 14. Nishikita, pressure coming, batted down. And once again, Antoine Short gets there. This time, sands the contact. He brings up 4th down. Antoine Short from the Bronx, 14 years old, 5 feet 10 inches tall. Won back-to-back conference championships in tackle football with Iona Preparatory. Was named defensive MVP of that team in 2025. Has played flag football for the G-Men, All-Stars, and Fast Break Flag Football Club programs, and won MVP honors at a New York Jets NFL Flag Regional Tournament in 2025. Very talented defender as he's showing pressure again. The Americans wanted a penalty flag, but Japan gets the snap off. No pressure. Nishikita drills it at the goal line, and he's just short. And it's a turnover on downs. A great catch by Kai Ashino. But the U.S. defense was there to make the stop. Number 12, Christian Myrick, with a touchdown-saving defensive play.
Huge stop right there for the U.S.
Back at it, up 14-6 with the football. There's Cameron Cohen with a first down grab. Approaching 3 minutes to play here in the opening half.
And this young man definitely, when you look at him, I think that Cameron Cohen certainly is in the running for best hair of the week as well. Great hair coming out there on the field, I must say.
What are we going with? Swag, drip? What are we?
Yeah, we'll go. He's got the drip going, and the hairstyle definitely adds to it.
Understood. Ditch to Ortiz Rotolo. Makes a man miss. Off to the races down the near sideline and stopped at the 11. Another chunk play for the American offense.
Ortiz Rotolo once again showing that speed and athleticism. He is one dynamic football player, Kyle Bailey.
Sure is. 14 years old from Hawthorne, New York. Easy for me to say. Basketball, football athlete for Westlake High School. Known for his speed, as we saw right there. And once again, I'm sure Jonathan Nagapin, the head coach of the 15U boys, would tell anybody that would listen, but certainly told us back on Wednesday, he thinks that this team has more talent than any team he's coached.
And that's a big statement because he's had some really good teams in the 2 years that we've been here. So that's why I've been so anxious to see this team play.
And they won gold in this division last year.
Coach Nagapin also, he talked about the depth, and he said that's what makes this team better. He said last year's team he felt like was a little bit top-heavy.
Yeah.
He said after you got past the starters, you felt like there was a little bit of a drop-off, but he said this team 1 through 12 is strong. So he feels like that he could put out any 5 really at a given time, and he's going to be able to be successful.
In the history of this event, the Junior International Cup, the United States has secured 15 of a total 16 gold medals. This is the 17th opportunity, and the U.S. lead by 8. Scratch that. They lead by 14 at the moment. There is a penalty flag in the backfield.
Looks like that's going to be on Japan, so that's going to count.
We'll await the official determination from our white hat on the field. Nope, that will go against the Americans.
Yeah, I give up. I saw her do the gesture when she ran out there. She did a gesture and pointed to Japan's side, so I thought it was on them. I give up trying to guess the calls here, Kyle Bailey.
That's all right. Wipe the touchdown off the board. We'll do it again. And we've got the United States men meeting with Jonathan Nagapin, their head coach, sending them out with a play. Miles. So Ian Ditch back in the gun. 11 of 12 for 134 yards thus far, and you can add to it. Finding Richardson again in the front of the end zone, but this time it's for a touchdown. Chad Richardson already with 2 extra points under his belt. Finds pay dirt, and it's 20-8. The United States extends the lead to 12. Any consideration to go for 2 here, Wes?
Again, I just think this is too early to chase points. I'm definitely a guy that I don't necessarily want to go for 2 until I need it. All right, if I get to a point where I feel like I either want to put the game away or I absolutely have to have a 2, then I'm going to go for it. But right now, I'm not going to chase the points, man, because that stuff can come back to bite you in the keister, Kyle Bailey.
Overloaded formation results in a leaping Quinn Miles extra point. 21-8. The lead is a baker's dozen. 1:12 left to play here in the opening half. On another beautiful Southern California Sunday. I don't think they have any other kind out here in Los Angeles. Mid-70s. Clouds dissipating. Sunny afternoon. Ideal conditions for a title bout. The Japanese back on offense. And Nishikita drills one out to Oshiro Taniguchi. That'll be a gain of 4 yards on first down.
If you're Japan here, you got a minute change. So the ideal situation, go down, get some points, and try to minimize how much time the U.S. would have. Then you can take it into the second half where you will start with the football. So can you get a double dip right here? That's what you want to do.
It's a big possession here for Team Japan. Clock's at 1:05 after the play resulted in a run out of bounds. Nishikita, a little sidearm action. Tries to spin it out to the captain, Ryoga Nagata. But off the mark, incomplete.
Yeah, if you're Nagata right there, man, I mean, you're at a point in the game, it's 21-6. You cannot miss on any type of play. You've got to make any and every play that is available to you. You can't have lapses in concentration like that.
Sota Nishikita, Japanese quarterback, hails from Kyoto, Japan. He's got a strong arm. We've seen him throw with some touch as well today. They need his best right here. And again, he whips it out to the far sideline. Another catch for Nagata, but it brings up 4th down. The line of scrimmage will be the 16-yard line. So Japan will need to pick up at least 9 yards to midfield to keep this drive moving. Head coach Daiki Tanabe sends in the play. Now it looks like a timeout has been called by Team Japan. We'll keep it right here. 56 seconds on the clock. As we've seen over the past couple of years, that's one of the cool things about the Junior International Cup. We have 8 teams from across the world competing at this level. And you see all different flavors, all different styles, playing styles, but coaching styles as well. The way plays get sent in, the way they retreat to the sideline or not. And it's always very fun to watch the way that the Japanese teams operate.
Definitely. To hear them communicating with one another in their language is one of the great things about this whole tournament. That's one of the things I enjoy the most about the Junior International Cup is just seeing all of the different countries, seeing their customs. How do they get ready for the game? We know the way that most American teams, the way they like to get themselves hyped, the way they like to get themselves going before a contest. But I love to see the communication, how they handle things as well. And whatever language he's speaking, Coach needs to be able to get some type of play in. Coach Tanabe has to be able to get some type of play in and get a first down because the U.S. has more than enough time if you don't convert here. This is one of those plays, Kyle, that I think will be one of the defining moments of this matchup. Can Japan be able to get some points on the boards? But right here, they need to at least get a first down.
And take care of the football. The one thing you do not want to do is throw an interception around midfield. Nishikita, deep ball into double coverage. Knocked away, incomplete, and a turnover on downs for Japan with still plenty of time left for the U.S. offense.
I think that was a big mistake right there by Nishikita. You can't try to go down the field and go deep right there. I think that you've got to be able to just try to get the first down first and foremost. Don't get greedy as we have a player down here.
We sure do. I'm trying to identify who that is at the moment.
That is number 15, Kaya Bailey, William Mitchell.
Carteret, New Jersey native. William Mitchell being tended to by coaches and trainers. Again, that ball was thrown up into double coverage. Multiple hands got on the football. It was ultimately knocked away. We'll have to check the replay here in a moment. I'm not sure if Mitchell came down on a defender's foot or not. We'll take a look at it right here.
Did you look at it right here? The quarterback, I just think right there, he just got a little bit too greedy, and I'm not sure what he was seeing right there. Double coverage down the field on a 4th and short.
Comes down holding and clutching his left foot, left ankle area, and you can tell he's in a lot of pain.
Hopefully that young man will be able to get up and walk it off. They've gotten him up right there. He will need help coming off the field. Not sure if we'll see him for the rest of this contest, but hopefully we do.
Putting a little bit of weight on it as he walks off the field. With the help from the trainers, Callie Brownson of USA Football. It's a family out here. All hands on deck when one of their own goes down, and we wish the best for William Mitchell. Hopefully we get to see him back out there in short order. But after a big defensive stop that he played a huge part in, the United States offense gets the football back.
First down, Team USA.
Leading 21-6. Here's Ditch. Nobody home on the deep ball. That one was intended for Antoine Short.
Yeah, right there looked like a little bit of a miscommunication because the way he threw that football, looks like he wanted to go to that post again with Quinn Miles, and that seems to be his signature route. But that's what it looked like, him throwing it down the middle of that field. But it looked like Miles just kept on going, maybe running more of a go route, 9 route. So the U.S. will get another chance here.
Interesting call right there with 43 seconds left to go to try to get it all.
Well, I think when you feel like your athletes are superior and you've been hitting on deep balls all day, why not?
Miles, Cohen, Richardson, Ortiz, Rotolo. The target's on the field. Ditch pump fakes a couple of times and then has to heave it downfield, nobody home, and a penalty flag comes in. That's going to be an illegal forward pass. Crossing the line of scrimmage.
Third down, Team USA.
And it feels like right now Ian Ditch needs to calm down just a little bit. I think he's had some early success. He's had some opportunities to go down the field. I think he's probably still a little bit angry with the interception that he's thrown and maybe trying to correct that and go back down the field again. But right now he needs to just put together a nice structured drive, focus on getting the first down. They've got plenty of time, and then try to go from there instead of trying to get it all on one play.
Antoine Short back on the field in the slot this time. Cohen snaps it. Ditch under pressure. Rifles it up the middle to Tristan Ortiz-Rotolo. Big gain on second down.
Nice flag pull, though, by DiBucci. He was smoking down the middle of the field, and he was able to get in there and snatch that flag. Nice athletic play there.
15-yard pickup. I misspoke there. It's fourth down coming up for the United States. So manageable distance. So they'll need 8 yards to midfield to keep the drive alive. They coming up at halftime. Quarterback, one of them for the U.S. men's national team. He's walking towards us right now, Nico Casares, who had himself a night 2 nights ago in a 50-16 blowout win over Team Canada. Casares put up some incredibly impressive numbers, and he'll join us at halftime to talk about that win.
Kind of puts you in the mind of Jimmy Garoppolo when you see him.
You know, I hadn't thought about that, but it's actually spot on.
Yeah, he does. He's got that look just like Jimmy G.
You got to ask him about that.
We will.
If he ever gets that, because now that I can't unsee it now that you've pointed that out.
I bet he does. If Jimmy Garoppolo, if there's ever a movie made about mediocre backup quarterbacks,
wow.
You know, and he was once my guy.
I know
Kyle
he was.
Bailey.
I can't believe you said that.
He was once my guy. But if they ever make a movie about him, this is going to be your guy to play young Jimmy G right here.
Here we go. High snap. But the play's whistled dead. And we have a timeout taken by Japan. So they got to look at the formation. And Daiki Tanabe quickly got the timeout called. We'll see what adjustments they make or if the United States comes out with the same look. Game 2 of the Junior International Cup afternoon slate of title games. Coming up next, the 17U women will be in action. And then our finale of the day, the 17U division boys will compete for gold. The junior national squads taking center stage here on this Sunday on Home Team Network. I want to send a shout out and a thank you as well to our hosts here of the LA Galaxy. It's a busy time for every major soccer organization in North America because of the World Cup, but once again, their hospitality has been first class. Here we go. Another high snap, fourth down. Here's the pressure. Ditch. Hail Mary into the end zone. Batted around and caught. Touchdown. United States. Al Brown.
When it's your day, Kyle Bailey, it is just your day. We talked about Aaron Rodgers contributing to USA football. That looked like Aaron Rodgers right there throwing that late game Hail Mary. He threw it up, kept it up high for it to be playable. That's the key to a Hail Mary, is the ball playable right there. The ball kind of bounced around a little bit, but with the U.S. athletes, you know that there was a high probability of that ball being completed. You saw some leapers back there.
Wow.
Also, number 12, Christian Myrick got his hands on that ball, but it was Al Brown who made the play, and that is absolutely a worst-case scenario if you're Team Japan.
Al Brown is no stranger to big plays. Last year at the 14U level in the Select Bowl, caught the game-winning touchdown in the championship to secure the win and MVP honors as the U.S. offense cashes in the conversion. A dart to Quinn Miles in the far front corner of the end zone. And the score is 28-6 as we go to the break. What a way to cap off 20 minutes of championship flag football. The Americans with a dominant opening half and halftime next, right here on the Home Team Network. Back here at Dignity Health Sports Park in Southern California, second half action in the 15U boys division coming up here in just a couple of minutes. The current score 28-6, a dominant opening half of play by Team USA and a lengthy break in the action right there. And I'm sure many of you have been communicating with your favorite players on the field during the break, but in case you were wondering where we went, we had an unfortunate medical situation in the bleachers here on Championship Field at Dignity Health Sports Park, and fortunately that situation is A-OK at this moment. Big shout out to the first responders here in Southern California, in particular here in Carson, who got to the scene quickly, took care of the young lady who, again, is fine at the moment. We love to hear that. So a break in the action to make sure one of our paying customers is going to be all right. And we salute everybody involved in making that happen. And now after a 10-minute break, to get the players warmed up again, the second half coming up in just a minute here, Wes. And that was a fairly tight competitive game, through the first 10 minutes or so, but the United States really pulling away. The Hail Mary touchdown there at the end by Al Brown, and now if you're Team Japan down by 22 in a gold medal game, what are you doing?
Yeah, I mean, you want to, goal number one has to be to get points out of this drive right here. You got to want to go down and score. That's got to be objective number one. Other than that, you put yourself in a position for this game to be too far out of reach.
Sota Nishikita remains at quarterback to start the second half for Team Japan. And on first down finds Nagata on the far sideline. The ball pops out at the end of the play as his flag is pulled at the 13-yard line.
And in flag football, folks, if you don't know, there are no such things as fumbles. So that's why I say sometimes when I wonder why more players don't put the ball out at the end of a possession, that's because you cannot fumble the ball. The defenders cannot strip you. And if the ball pops out, the play is dead right there on the spot.
Kyle Bailey, Wes Bryant here with you on Home Team Network, live from Championship Field at Dignity Health Sports Park. The Junior International Cup gold medal game, the second of the day, is Nishikita trying to evade pressure, runs out of bounds.
And that was tough right there. He didn't have anybody in the vicinity to be able to throw the ball to, even if he wanted to. So he just had to kind of eat that one and get what he could. Smart play by him.
That was Al Brown and Antoine Short in pursuit defensively that time for the U.S. Logan David out there on the field defensively now for the United States. Alex Rivera as well, alongside Antoine Scott, Al Brown, and number 12, Christian Myrick, the man in the bucket hat. Third down coming up. Nishikita, high snap, surveying, perfect spiral down the far sideline, and what a grab by Nagata, the captain, coming up big to move the chains for Team Japan.
Nice play right there. He kept working for his quarterback. They had to have it right there, and he is able to break that route off, go towards the sideline. Nice grab right there as Japan is rolling to start this second half.
First down and goal from the 20-yard line. Here comes Short with the pressure. And that ball flutters incomplete as Nishikita tried to float it out to a crossing Oshiro Taniguchi. That'll bring up second down. And again, the crowd back in the stands here on Championship Field. Energy starting to return.
And now if I'm right here, I want to pick up maybe 8 to 10 yards to try to cut down the distance. I've only got 3 downs, but I've got a decent amount of the field to cover if I want to get in the end zone.
Pressure coming. Here comes Short. Gets his hands up. Nearly intercepted as Al Brown was spinning, trying to find the football. Can't haul it in. Nice job by Nishikita to get that ball up over the outstretched arms of Antoine Short as he was rushing in hard. But nearly intercepted, brings up third down for Japan.
Yeah, it looks like a little bit more of a miscommunication right there for Japan. Trying to go down the field. Now you put yourself in an even tougher position here. I think right here, unless something is just glaringly open, I am going to try to at least break this in half.
From the 20, here comes Short again. Gets there quickly. Ball goes out to Nagata on the near sideline. And a gain of about 6.
The U.S. defense right here is at an advantage because Team Japan, this is what you would call a 4th and long right here in my estimation, about 13 yards to the end zone. So this is going to have to take one heck of a throw to be able to get it in, because I'm sure that the U.S. is going to concentrate most of that defense back there in that end zone to be able to cover whatever might come through.
And again, we see Japan continuing to be deliberate, taking their time between play calls as the clock continues to roll now with 6:16 remaining, 16:16, pardon me. And Nishikita pump fakes to get away from short, laterals back, but drop for a loss. Ethan Yamakawa caught that lateral from Nishikita but had nowhere to go with it. It's a loss of about 8 yards and, more importantly, a turnover on downs as the ball goes back to the United States.
And the U.S. was all over that. Alex Rivera, he was just hanging out waiting for that quarterback to throw that pass back. I think that was a last resort effort by him. Probably would have taken a little bit better chance throwing it down the field into the end zone.
Ian Ditch remains at quarterback to start the second half and rifles one to Tristan Ortiz-Rotolo, who has one touchdown grab on the afternoon thus far, and a catch on first down on Team USA's opening possession of the second half. There's a lateral back to Ian Ditch. Ditch spinning away from a defender. How about that move? Across the 20, crosses midfield, and steps out of bounds after United States first down.
I mean, not only has Ian Ditch been dropping dimes all over the field, a ditch dime, we can call it that, but then right there, he shows you the athleticism that he possesses. Gorgeous spin move right there, and is able to pick up some more yardage. Great play by Ditch to pick up the first down, showing you that he can do it with his legs and his arm.
What a spin move to get away from the defense. And now Ditch in the offense will have it first down and goal. It's from the Japan 24-yard line. Again, just a reminder, as we see both women's teams at the 17U level, the United States and Azteca out of Mexico warming up for game number 3. And there's a beauty of a pass. Ditch rolling to his left, flips it out to Ortiz for a big pickup on first down, sets up the United States second down and goal from the 6.
Coach Nagapin and the USA squad over there strategizing. So many weapons, so many ways that they can hurt you. Let's see how they choose to attack this second down.
Well, there's no doubt that the United States has some talented options at the quarterback position. Caleb Gunn is also part of this roster, but Ian Ditch running the show offensively is, there's Caleb Gunn with a shovel pass. It stops short of the goal line. I mentioned Caleb Gunn. He comes onto the field and finds Cameron Cohen. Cohen thought he got in, but the near side judge comes running across to say, no, we're going to spot that one at the 1-yard line.
Tried to run a little bit of a shovel pass right there. Nice play design. Got him a good amount of yardage, though. They're knocking right at the doorstep, right on that 1-yard line.
So now Caleb Gunn will take the reins of the offense. The Fairfax, Virginia native has been here before. And a touchdown pass. An easy pitch and catch from Gunn to Tristan Ortiz-Rotolo for his second touchdown reception of this game, 34-6.
I mean, right there when you're that close, the options are endless as we see that bunch formation. Rotolo just comes out, runs a quick out route. Tough to guard him out of that, especially with all that traffic right there. There is some confusion within that defense, which allows him to get even more open. The U.S. takes advantage of it.
The route is on, and honestly has been since the end of the first half. You wondered if Japan could answer to cut into the lead, but the answer was no, as there's a jump ball back of the end zone. But incomplete, a leaping William Mitchell. Good to see him back out there after the injury down here in the end zone defensively several minutes back.
And especially trying to make such an athletic play right there. They just throw it up for him, just a little bit of a fade to the end zone. And he tries to catch it with one hand. Maybe could have had a little bit better results if he went with two. But still, I think he would have been out of bounds regardless.
So Japan back on offense, trailing by 28 points. And there's Mitchell playing both ways, pulling the flag and stopping number 9, Chito Oya, on first down. I tell you what, I'm reflecting on Jonathan Nagapin's comments to us on Wednesday about how this is the most talented team that he's ever coached. And You and I both looked at him and said, Coach, you just won gold in this division last year. How much better could you be? And I think we're seeing our answer out here this afternoon.
I mean, there hasn't been much drop-off, just like he said, no matter who's in the game, and that's what he pointed to. He said 1 through 12, this team is strong, whereas his team last year, you know, it might have been a little bit of a drop-off after his starters would come off of the field.
And a nice back foot throw from Nishikita to find Ethan Yamakawa along the far sideline. Very calm presence and demeanor that time from Nishikita as Quinn Miles was coming on strong, and Nishikita delivers one of the best balls we've seen from him this afternoon.
No doubt about it. That was a deep out, and we know for quarterbacks that is one of the throws that shows off your arm strength. Right there, he was able to deliver a nice dot.
See if Japan can find a way to score for the second time today as Yamakawa gets rewarded with back-to-back grabs inside the 20-yard line. And that'll bring up second down. And the future is bright for the junior national teams, both men's and women's, but it's not just the talent they've recruited for this team, it's about the broader level of talent at the USA Football Summer Series this weekend. You can see flag football attracting more and more of the type of athletes that'll be required to win gold here in LA in 2028. And it's 3 straight catches for Yamakawa. Christian Myrick pulling the flag that time.
I think when you talk about the assembly of talent, I think the timing is just perfect, because with the Olympics right around the corner and this game starting to draw more interest, you're going to have more players that are going to want to come out and be a part of this. And so you'll have more athletes to choose from. So the U.S., you can bet, is going to be able to field some excellent squads.
Here's second down. Nishikita, Quinn Miles in his face, has to spike it. Incomplete. And we often talk about the rush position. And Jonathan Nagapin was one of the several coaches we talked to this week that really emphasized obviously how important pressure is, but to be able to bring pressure with a guy like Quinn Miles, who is 6 feet 1 inch tall, and with that wingspan coming at a shorter quarterback in this case, it makes life really difficult for quarterbacks.
No question about it. You can't see the lanes get a little bit more murky, so it's going to make for some tough throws. And when you've got defenders that can stick to their guys like that, makes it difficult, but not right there, KB.
No, well, in a way it did. Touchdown Japan, number 9, Ichito Oya. Put 6 on the board for the Japanese, but we'll check the replay right here. That ball might have even been touched. More pressure coming from Antoine Short. I think he got a finger or 2 on that ball. But it still made its way to Oya in the end zone, and for the second time today, Japan finds pay dirt.
And you saw William Mitchell and Alex Rivera right there, miscommunication that allowed that bust in coverage, because apparently the U.S. was in man and somebody forgot their responsibility. So you saw those two kind of trying to figure out what was going on there to allow such a wide open score.
2-point conversion attempt coming here. Nishikita rolls right, lofts it into the back of the end zone. Into traffic, and it falls incomplete. Alex Rivera was there, got a hand on it. The score remains 34-12. U.S. men up by 22. With 7:57 on the clock and rolling. If you're waiting to start with the 15U girls, we should be close to on time after a slight delay for a medical emergency earlier here in the run of show. As Cam Cohen makes a catch on first down out to the 12-yard line. You're going to want to stick around for this one, folks.
It's going to be interesting to see what does the U.S. try to do right here. Will we see shorter passes? Will we see some runs with them starting to play clock already? Or will they continue to be aggressive and try to put even more on the board? I think with 7 minutes to go, that's me. I'm continuing to try to put some points on the board, KB.
Caleb Gunn out there at quarterback. Ditch as well. Ditch laterals to Gunn. Gunn back to Ditch. Pass is still an option, but not for Ian Ditch as he takes off running. Had plenty of real estate in front of him and gallops out to the 23-yard line. That'll set up the U.S. with a third down, just about 2.5 yards shy of midfield.
A little short lining right there, KB, because it looked like to me he could have gotten a little bit more had he kept on running, but I think that, you know, short lined it to be able to run some more clock here. So the U.S., I think they're trying to get the best of both worlds where they do run some clock, but then also they're able to cap this off with another score.
And now Caleb Gunn coming out with the play from Jonathan Agapin. Ortiz, Rotolo, Ditch, Cohen, and Richardson on the field. Gunn showing off the gun, finds Cohen. Middle of the field, tries to duck walk between a trio of Japan defenders. Inside the 15-yard line, they'll spot it at the 11. First down, USA.
Kyle, I like to see you try that before we go to try a duck walk. I think that the people would love to see that.
Well, I hope that ambulance is still here. And it will be a direct line to knee replacement surgery. And I'll be laid up here in Southern California for a couple of weeks. In all seriousness, though, they train for those moves. They practice those moves. Marcel Reese was joking about that the other day as well. It's just a nuance and adaptation of this game that you don't see at the tackle level, of course. Gunn. Pressure arrives, ball's on target, but tipped away, out of bounds. And a nice job in coverage that time by Kayashino.
Well, for Japan, though, one thing that you do like, even though this score, it's pretty lopsided, but their bench is still cheering. These guys are still playing with enthusiasm, and I think that's a great sign for Team Japan and the morale of this team.
Quinn Miles, Richardson, Cohen, and Ortiz Rotolo across the front. Gunn from the gun, rifles it. Should have been picked off. That one hit Ethan Yamakawa right in the breadbasket, and he's kicking himself for not holding on.
Yeah, you got to be able to grab that. I mean, any play will help here. You can't afford any more missed opportunities. Like I said, yeah, the chances of you coming back, is it tough? Yes, it is. But still, you get an opportunity like that, you got to get the football back for your team.
The clock's moving here in the second half. Not much time to mount a comeback, and we'll see if when Japan gets the ball back at some point, if they elect to deploy the hurry up, as we've yet to see anything like that from them today. But right now, trying to prevent the United States from hanging a 40-burger on them. Here's Gunn drifting to his left, throws it back to the middle of the field. Richardson makes the catch, but they're calling it a sack. Back at the 14-yard line. Check the replay here. Gunn looked to have a nice play to Richardson that would set them up inside the 5, but instead it's a sack back at the 14.
All right, as we go look at the replay right here, it's tough to see because we're seeing the end result of the play, but the flag was grabbed before he was able to get that football off, so that will not count. So you look for small victories here if you're Japan. Can you get a stop right here on 4th down, go down and score some points? You just have to keep continuing the positivity.
All new personnel on the field for the United States. Ditch throws it back to Rivera. Rivera back to Ditch. A little man-on-man defense. They're deep in the backfield. Ditch trying to escape, and he does. With a full head of steam, now turns it loose. Finds Short. And Short is stopped short of the goal line. No, they're calling it a touchdown, but the Japanese team adamantly disagreeing.
And I think we may have just gotten a strong candidate for play of the day right there. Ian Ditch, this is a young man that is very much capable of making things happen. I mean, look at this. He's juking. He's doing everything possible. He's swiveling those hips, getting them around, and then he's able to run and deliver a dart on the money. And let's see right there. Yeah, I believe he was short. The U.S. may have gotten a call in their favor.
Wow.
Because it looked like that flag was pulled before he was able to cross that end zone. Either way it goes, what a play by Ian Ditch. The U.S. right there, they had to improvise in a major way.
Yui Shinshi was giving chase to Ian Ditch, and Ditch just put a move on him and escaped to set up that touchdown pass. And there's Ditch with a dart to the back of the end zone. A diving, sliding Al Brown makes the catch. And the conversion is good. 41-12. The United States extends the lead to 29.
A nice play right there. Al Brown comes through once again with those hands, making their presence felt as he catches another touchdown today. Heck of a play.
Absolutely.
2-minute warning. 2-minute warning.
2-minute warning, according to our PA announcer. And wow, just got rid of it in time out to Kawamura. As Antoine Short came busting in, nearly got his hand on the football. First down completion out to the 9-yard line. That'll bring up second down. Inside of 2 minutes to play now, 1:45 and rolling. And it's a formality at this point as the United States at the 15U level will win gold for yet another year. Nishikita, a missile into Nagata, and Nagata makes the catch. Near simultaneously, the flag was pulled. That'll set them up. Second down from the 21-yard line. Actually, third down, pardon me.
I think that's a good strategy. Maybe part of the, grittier side of my game, but as I saw the U.S. right there, at the end of that play, William Mitchell I'm talking about, he pulled an extra flag right there. And sometimes I wonder if maybe you want to do that just to make them take a little bit of extra time. Pull multiple flags and make them have to put multiple back on.
Under 60 seconds to go, right up the middle, and a runaway touchdown for Japan. Ichito Oya, back-to-back touchdowns for him, and it's 41-18.
And even though it won't matter, the U.S. right there, looks like they had a single high safety look. Japan was able to manipulate that with the throw to Shinshi, but a busted coverage once again. Maybe a little bit of a lapse in concentration, thinking about putting that gold medal around your neck for the U.S.
And now the Japanese squad will line up to go for two. 50 seconds left on the clock. It's a direct snap back to Yamakawa. He surveys, no pressure coming. Trying to direct traffic. And that was a coverage sack.
That to me is just one of the cardinal sins of quarterback.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're sitting there just holding the ball, what good is it going to do you to continue to hold on to the football? Just throw it up in the back of the end zone and maybe you get a play out of it, but it's better than nothing.
7 seconds expired. He's lost down. Score remains 41-18. And now with 50 seconds left to go, Ian Ditch is back out there. And they will run a play. He flips it out to Cameron Cohen, and Cohen running out of bounds to stop the clock. How about that?
Yeah, maybe the U.S. wants to try to put another one on the board. I would doubt that they would at this point.
Although Jonathan Nagapin seemed pretty eager to get the next play call in.
Okay, well maybe they are going to try to get another one in.
This is certainly not a victory formation as Ditch takes the snap, rolls left, heaves it, deep downfield, diving, touchdown grab. And a patriotic exclamation point, Christian Myrick with the score, 47-18. This game was already decided, but Jonathan Nagapin apparently deciding they hadn't had enough just yet.
I think we got our answer right there. You got a dagger concept going with one receiver with the in-breaking route, and then you had Mr. Myrick on the outside running that go route down the seam, and he's able to capitalize on that with a beautiful diving catch.
Oh, say can you see another United States touchdown.
Look at that, Kyle Bailey flipping the script on the national anthem. I like it.
47-18, they will go for two. How about this? The game in hand, but the United States can't get enough, and there's a dart from Ditch to Cohen. Wow.
What do you think about that, Kyle Bailey?
Wow. There's no bad blood that I'm aware of between these two sides, but some might call it running up the score. I'm not quite sure what Jonathan Nagapin would call it, but I know what we call them. They're the champs. The United States wins the gold at the 15U boys division.
I've always been of the thought that, hey man, it's your job to stop me.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna run what I'm gonna run. It's your job to get out there and stop me. So I don't think there's any need to be upset. These young men kept doing what they needed to do. This is a very, very talented group, very dominant performance they put forth here.
I was gonna say, pick your adjective. Dominant, lopsided, however you want to frame it. The United States runs away with this one, a 31-point blowout win to secure gold once again for the boys 15U division. They're celebrating on the field right now. We'll chat with the MVP here momentarily. And then, of course, we'll set the stage and get you ready as we step it up from the 15U divisions to the 17U. The 17U girls of the United States taking on Team Azteca out of Mexico in game number 3 here on this championship Sunday. You're going to see a lot of familiar faces. If you live at all in the world of flag football or are familiar with the junior national team pipeline, there are some absolute stars on the way over these next 2 games. So you're not going to want to miss it. Keep it right here on the Home Team Network. Kyle Bailey, Wes Bryant with you. And we'll be joined by Ian Ditch, the quarterback of the United States, here in just a moment. Here he comes with our very own Ryan Anderson of USA Football. The quarterback, signal caller, leader of the U.S. offense, making his way onto the stage after an absolutely triumphant and dominant win over Team Japan. We'll put a headset on him and let's have a conversation with Ian Ditch, who really piloted this offense to incredible heights this afternoon. Ian, I know you're a little out of breath. It was a heck of an effort out there. How does it feel to be a champion?
Feels great. You know, we worked all year for this. It's great to see all our work pay off. I'm really proud of my guys. You know, I couldn't have done it without them. It's just great. It's a great feeling.
Ian, just talk about the game that you had today, man. It seemed like you had minimal mistakes and you were just on point all afternoon.
You know, I got to give most of my credit to my coaches. You know, without my coaches, it wouldn't have been possible. And, you know, to my guys, obviously my receivers, can't do it without them. It was a great team win. Everyone contributed.
Ian, what does this game mean to you and your family? We learned this week that your parents, I think your father in particular, you're working on growing the game globally, places like Tonga. Clearly this means a lot to you.
Yeah, you know, this is my first year with Team USA. It's great to see us come out on top, you know, bring all my knowledge to other worlds. You can see we got 8 countries here already. I'm really excited to see how many countries we get in 5 years.
Ian, I want to know just the style of play, man. Who influences your game? Because you had some spectacular games or spectacular plays, not only with your arm, but also with your feet.
When I was 10, I started playing like this, and my dad just really helped me. He was like, well, my dad was like, if you believe you're the best player, you just got to go out there and show it, not just with your arm, but with your legs too, to show you're the best all-around player out there.
Well, I think you made a statement today after a blowout win for gold. We appreciate you. Congratulations to you and the United States squad. Go celebrate.
Thanks so much.
There you go. Ian Ditch, quarterback of the United States men's 15U boys division. They are gold medalists once again. Final score 49-18. A blowout win over Team Japan. Game 3, when we come back, the 17U women take the stage. Keep it right here. Championship field rolls on Home Team Network.